Hello and welcome to the Understanding Narcissists YouTube channel. This video is going to be a topic that maybe is not of towering significance or importance, but I see so much in narcissists, a certain behavior, that I think is relevant, and also because I've never seen an exception to this particular behavior. And that is, I know I've talked about their body language, the different levels of communication that they employ to not just communicate with you, but really strong-arm you and control you and force you and guilt you into doing things, into succumbing to their will. And another one that I see so much, and I'm not sure why, has to do with the head. Their head. Not their minds, but their head. And the body language around their head. I don't know what it is. And it also includes facial expressions to some extent. Narcissists don't have a great range of facial expressions, I find. But the way they carry themselves, as I've talked about before, is unique, often reptilian and very dominant and aggressive in a way that you can't readily point out necessarily. And sometimes it's masculine. Even when they're women, there can be a very primal, sort of aggressive, masculine way of doing it. I don't know how to put that into words, but if you've experienced it, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. Naturally, our faces, our heads, the centers of our experience and perceptual experience, and where we like to think we are, that's kind of where we're situated in our brains. But the focus, while lacking some amount of facial expression, the way they move their heads when encroaching, especially when being narcissistic and engaging in especially narcissistic behaviors, is unique to each narcissist, but they're always funky. There's always something weird about it. I don't know what it is. I've seen them do things where they kind of lunge their head towards you somewhat. I've seen kind of a bobblehead action with other narcissists. I've also seen heads that just don't move at all and have this strange nature, almost like a doll-like action to them. And it's creepy. Now, you think, well, there's all different kinds of personalities, all different kinds of people. Throw personality disorders into that. Of course you're going to have all kinds of variations. They don't mean anything. But they always stand out to me with narcissists. There's always something funky going on with their heads. Don't know what it is. Facial expressions, too, as I've talked about, kind of a vacant look, kind of a void in their eyes, especially when they're being narcissistic, really trying to intimidate. I don't think it's just a show. I do think it has to do with they're not entirely in control of it, and it's not something they're just showcasing. It is something they're doing, and they may not be aware of it. The experience, it's always centered around their heads, which even then is not always the case in communication with other people and interpersonal communication and stuff. It's not always. It's so focused on their face, on their head, and on their staring, and they're dominating you. And then there's always something funky going on with their heads, even if it's still. There really is a head-centered kind of approach with how they attack you. It's like it's all focused on that part of their body especially. And when they're shaming, when they're guilting, when they're threatening you, all at the same time, or each separately. It's a strange thing that goes on. There can be different routines. There can be different parts of, depending on what they're trying to do. If they're victims, watch their head. If they're aggressing, watch their heads. Watch what their heads are doing. It's strange. It's really weird. And you get used to it because that's going to be those strong narcissistic behaviors. That's what you're going to see. And only you're going to see, for the most part. Behind closed doors, other people aren't going to know about. You won't see it as much out in the open. So it's not you think it's just personality, but there's something going on there. And it's very immature, too. Again, it's very primal aggression. Even if it's not necessarily in that, if say let's say they're self-victimizing and they're saying that you're abusing them, you're going to see it there too. They just put it on. It's a very head-centered performance. And why is that? I don't know. No idea. Maybe you can shed light on that or share your experience in the comments or something, because I really don't know. I just see it again and again. And that's why this topic, I sat and thought about this topic, and I thought, this is useless. This is ridiculous to talk about. But it kept coming back, and I thought, maybe you'd find this useful. I don't know. I hope you like this video. Like it if you do. Share it with somebody you think might benefit from it or learn something from it. Comment in the comment section below about what you think. If there's anything to narcissists and what they do with their heads. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.